In today's video, I show you 5 things you can do right now to lower your creatinine level fast. I know these things work because these are the things that I did to improve my kidney function. Yes, I'm a kidney disease patient, and today I show you my actual working strategy to lower creatinine and improve kidney function. Hello, my name is Tony Bennett. Welcome to Double O Kidney. After being diagnosed with chronic kidney disease 2 years ago, my doctor told me that you can reverse kidney disease. You can improve your kidney function, but just a little bit. And kidney disease is not reversible. But it wasn't true. Not for everyone, at least. Not for me. I actually improved my kidney function a lot. It wasn't easy. It still isn't easy. Even if I'm better now and I still have to fight, just like you, this terrifying disease. And I was lucky enough to discover Catherine's channel here, Double O Kidney. And I actually found out that there are things you can do to lower your creatinine levels. Okay, nobody has time to lose here, so let's jump to the strategy. Let's see what actually works to improve kidney function. Number 1, first thing to do to lower creatinine, lower protein intake. Avoid eating red meat, dairy products, and other foods rich in protein will help lowering creatinine. Yeah, should I start with something easier? But never mind, diet is really important for a kidney disease patient. So let's start with an advice from a patient, me, to another patient, you. Things can be pretty rough when you get near the advanced stages of chronic kidney disease. And your doctor starts to talk about dialysis. It's frightening, I know it very well. And while making a significant change in your diet might seem hard, it's a lot better than seeing chronic kidney disease progress without doing anything to fight it. So, reducing protein intake is actually a very good first step to lower our creatinine. And it will work fast. You know, just 2 years ago I was almost in stage 5 of CKD because I wasn't caring enough about my health. When I started to care, finding the correct renal diet was one of the first big changes I had to do in my lifestyle. But it worked. I had to follow a very restrictive renal diet at first. But now that my kidneys are better, I can have a more easy to follow diet. Consuming a very low protein diet removes a lot of stress from our kidneys. This will improve our GFR, giving us more energy and making us feel better. My personal advice to lower the amount of protein in the diet is to avoid bad protein at all costs. So, avoid protein from fat cuts of red meat, fat cuts of chicken and pork. Also avoid packaged meats in general, like salami, sausages, and avoid dairy. Yes, this is not easy at first, but it will work, and it will work fast. Number 2, drink more water. Keep your kidneys healthy by drinking the right amount of water. This is an easy way to lower our creatinine levels fast. Water is really important for the health of our kidneys. A lot of people live their lives in a constant state of mild dehydration. This will directly impact the creatinine levels in a bad way. If you are dehydrated, your creatinine levels will be higher, so drinking more water will lower it really fast. Also, we should consider that in the long run your kidneys will suffer if you're constantly dehydrated. Water helps the kidneys removing waste from the blood, and if there's not enough water, the kidneys will have to work harder. In the long run, this can increase the chances of UTIs, kidney stones, and kidney disease. All these are really bad for our kidneys, so drink more water. How much water? Men need about 13 cups of water per day, women about 9. We're talking about between 2 and 3 liters of water per day. These are just estimates. It can change if you live in a hot climate or if you do a lot of physical activity. What's important is that this is a lot more than most of the people actually drink. So drink more water if you want to help your kidneys. Maybe bring a water bottle with you at work or when you're traveling, And how can you tell if you are drinking enough? Look at the color of the urine. Urine should be light yellow. If it's darker, it means you're dehydrated. This only applies to people who are not on a restricted water intake. If you're on dialysis, you cannot drink all this water, and you should drink no more than your doctor allows you to do. Number 3, eat more omega-3s. A diet rich in omega-3s is proven to help improving GFR. There are actually studies proving this. Let's see. Omega-3s and renal function in older adults. Omega-3 fatty acid supplementation as an adjunctive therapy in the treatment of chronic kidney disease. Oh, this is a long one. Okay, don't worry. I'm not gonna read all these studies right now because they really tedious, and this is YouTube, by the way. But I've read them. Yes, I've read them pretty carefully. I'm pretty cautious when it comes to my own health. But all the studies basically says that they tested omega-3s from foods and from supplements on a bunch of people suffering from kidney disease. And the people who actually took the omega-3s reported an improvement in their kidney function over the years. But the interesting part is omega-3 fatty acids can lower cholesterol levels and blood pressure, reduce oxidative stress on the kidneys, and prevent heart disease and stroke in kidney patients. Now, patients suffering from kidney disease tend to have a higher risk for heart disease and stroke, so omega-3s are really useful for us. So when I discovered about this, I just, started to take 4 of these per day. These are, I'll show you, just pills, jelly pills. I take 4 of these per day, nothing more and nothing less. And this is actually one of the very few supplements that are perfectly safe and that are actually proven to help you lowering creatinine levels naturally. I tested omega-3s, they work. Number 4. Find the cause. Find out what's damaging your kidneys and stop it. Diabetes and high blood pressure are the most common causes of CKD. They are both preventable and curable. Let's take a look at this pie chart right here. It says that 44% of the cases of chronic kidney disease are caused by diabetes. 44%. Now, if you have diabetes, it means that you have too much sugar in your blood. It's actually called blood glucose level, and if you have diabetes, it's one of the things that you should be checking regularly in your blood analysis. This excess of sugar in the blood is what's actually damaging your kidneys. There's a protein called albumin which should be present in your blood but not in your urine. So if your analysis says that there's albumin in the urine, it means that diabetes is actually damaging the nephrons, the tiny filtering units of the kidneys. I'm telling you this because, according to the statistics, 44% of you listening to me right now have diabetes. So I'm thinking that maybe it's actually useful to address this problem, right? Because if your kidney disease is caused by diabetes, there is no way you're going to be reversing it or improving your kidney function if you don't take care of diabetes. So, if you suffer from diabetes, take all the necessary steps to address it. Take the medication prescribed by your doctor and follow the right diet and weight loss program. All the other tips would be useless if you don't address this problem first. Now, let's take a look at the pie chart again. It says that 29% of people suffering from CKD have high blood pressure. My blood pressure was as high as 190 over 120. These are pretty incredible numbers, since the right blood pressure should be 120 over 70. The damage to my kidneys was severe. So I can actually tell you from my first-hand experience that if you have a blood pressure this high, it's going to damage your kidneys. What blood pressure is actually damaging are the blood vessels inside the kidneys. The kidneys will not filter the blood good enough when this starts to happen. So there will be more fluids in the blood than there should actually be. What will happen then? What will happen if you have more fluids in the blood than there should actually be? You guessed it. This extra fluid in your blood will make your blood pressure even higher, causing further damage to the kidneys. It's what they call a vicious circle. It's not funny at all, I can guarantee this to you. So, how did I lower my blood pressure? You might ask me right now. I basically did two things. I started to avoid sugary foods and started to exercise regularly. Sounds funny, doesn't it? No more sweets, no more ice cream, no more sugary beverages. I had to get a gym subscription instead. I had to give up eating at the fast foods too. Do I miss them? Every single day. Did it work? Yes, it did. Number 5. Never stop fighting. To overcome our diseases, mental strength is fundamental. Look, I know how this feels. When life throws you a curveball and you don't know how to handle it well. Life is just unfair sometimes. But I'm not here to tell you this. What I want to tell you is that you can still fight because you have to fight. Sometimes being brave and standing your grounds is everything that is left to us. The psychological aspect of the disease is something that a lot of doctors don't want to consider. They prefer to let the patient face it sometimes alone. I've seen this personally. You can ask anyone who went through a chronic illness. It is impossible to survive, to beat the illness if you don't have the mental strength to fight the illness. It's not just kidney disease. Every chronic illness, cancer, diabetes, degenerative conditions, even accident, will put people in a situation where they have to be brave in a way they never thought they could be. All the people going through this kind of conditions have to fight, but when you're strong, when you have the will to fight, you will become stronger and stronger day by day. And your illness will look weaker. If you decide to be strong, it means that you can still win. Number 6, Always be informed. Knowing our illness will put us in the condition to overcome it. Okay, this isn't as easy as it seems, but it's maybe the most important thing you can do to improve your kidney health and to lower creatinine levels. You won't always have the possibility to talk to your doctor during the day. Look, I don't know how this works for you, but for me, talking to a nephrologist or a dietitian to ask for advice on a daily basis is almost impossible. And yet, there are a lot of things you would want to ask them. Can I eat this food or that food right now? Would it be better for my kidney health to add more fruit, or should I limit the calories? Should I even eat alone? But you cannot ask your doctor about this right now, can you? You would have to schedule an appointment to wait maybe a lot. Maybe you won't even get the answer you need in time. And I'm talking just about the daily routine here. And what about what's not routine? Okay, it seems like being informed about our condition is actually a matter of self-protection. For me personally, during my journey to reverse kidney disease, collecting information was and still is a huge project. Something that took me a lot of energy and time and money. Still, getting informed about my illness is something that made all the difference for me. When I started to understand my condition, I started to actually being able to fight it and ultimately to reverse it. Luckily, that's one thing that made this a lot easier for me. And this is what I want to share with you right now. My journey to reverse kidney disease was not always easy. At the beginning, I did all that I could to improve my condition. I was really motivated. But despite all my efforts, my blood tests keep showing a decrease in kidney function. And my blood pressure was still high. Then there was a moment in my journey when my creatinine started to go down finally. My GFR started to go up and my kidney function started to improve. I needed some help to get this result. Sometimes you cannot do it all by yourself. The help came from a doctor actually. He created this program. This is what helped me the most in lowering my creatinine. I got to talk to the doctor that wrote this book. It's all part of the program actually. He gave me a lot of answers to the questions I cannot resolve by myself. Because you cannot always do everything by yourself, no matter how hard you try. This is why I'm telling you to give this program a try. Look, I'm leaving a link right here to find it. You can miss it. Really wishing you all the best.